everyone, and welcome. I'm with Kristy Johnson. My name is Lily Landakusik, and this is Voices of Hope. And this series is specifically about helping overcome trauma. And Kristy is just a wealth of information. I always get emotional messages of hope. Would you want to share with other trauma victims that have, gone through any form like yours or more advanced alienation?
For me, and this is something that I have to do on a daily, but especially during the holidays, I think it's important that you, first of all, go really easy on yourself. Allow yourself to feel whatever you need to, whatever situation you're in, because at the end of the day, it's just you basically and your creator. And you need to find out what your purpose is and why you're here, because we all have one. And in spite of what has happened, I think literally, if you can look at the holidays as giving yourself a gift of finding out who you really are, like literally, you owe that to yourself. And every single one of us has something to offer this world. And sometimes we go through things that we can turn around and then help other people. And for me, what gets me through things is because I still have those idealistic things for the holidays, like, oh, I want my family all here and I just want that, and it's not always like that. Or there's chaos, or there's something else that happens, and for me, it's hard because not everybody has a belief in a creator or God, or but for me, I do a lot of meditation and prayer, and the first thing I do when I wake up every morning is to think of what I'm grateful for, because I feel the yuck start. And but especially during the holidays, I think if you remember what the holiday is for, and look at what helps, is knowing that you can maybe serve somebody else, like if you see somebody else who has a need, or if you hear of somebody, or even your neighbor, if you can do something nice for somebody, it really does take a small burden off of you and takes your focus off of what's happening. And I've served in soup kitchens, I volunteered at another place during the holidays. I was able to remember what it's all about, and maybe it's not just about me, but serving and helping other people is definitely something that helps. But I think we owe it to ourselves to find out who we really are. We do. And to know that you think you don't have a purpose, but you really do. And sometimes you are allowed to go through things that you have no idea and you are a victim of, but you can use that to help other people, and to promote. We talked a little bit earlier about intention, and you're going to learn about, to me, and I've heard this before, so this is not original with me, but it all comes down to what you want out of your life and what your intentions are. They either come from a place of love, or they come from a place of fear. Now, we don't want to come from a place of fear when we're going forward in life. It's okay to feel it, right? But we don't want whatever we decide going forward, we don't want it to come from a place of fear. We want to be grounded and know, what do we want to be the main thing that comes out of our life? What are we going to do with our lives, and with what's happened to us? So I know that was a really long answer, but
I just appreciate listening to you, and it just helps me connect and look at myself more, and definitely gives me hope for being a little more committed to my recovery and talking about it more. And I feel like sometimes I hide behind, wanting to feel like a lot of my trauma is behind me. And definitely at the holidays, the holidays can bring back so many triggers and really make you feel like you're getting kicked in the stomach, just not prepared for it. And some of it can be somatic memories, a smell or a song. And it was
Yeah.
right before, the last time you saw your parent or the last time you saw your child, and so little summary of, this discussion. I just wanted to recap some of the tips that were so helpful for me that you just said about being present to the holidays. And you mentioned being very kind to yourself, going very easy on yourself. And you talked about sitting and being able to sit in trauma and heavy emotions and have that be okay. And some of the details that you were talking about in sitting make me just have a huge well of emotion come up just thinking about, being quiet and listening. You talked about listening to yourself, your body, your symptoms. If you're angry, that, maybe that's not bad. Maybe that's a message of change. What else did you talk about? These were such great tips.
Yeah, there's just all sorts of stuff that comes up, and I think we can't be afraid of it. That's the thing, is like you're entitled to feel all that. And, we're human, and it's okay if you're feeling all that. People get so afraid of like, oh, I don't want to cry. And, oh, or you've had somebody be like, oh, you're just such an emotional, and you're like, yeah, I am. I am emotional. And I'm very angry, thank you, and it's like, and pretty soon you feel empowered because your validation, I want to make this point. Your validation is never going to come from outside of yourself. It's never. And if you're looking for that, you can get accolades from people in a support group, and we all need that. But when it comes right down to it, how your inner core feels about yourself and why you were created, and know who you are right here, and know that it's okay to feel those things, because you may have had a mom or a teacher or a boss, somebody tell you you're this, you're that, you need to wind that down. And maybe you do when you're in public, but it's okay. Feel what you got to feel, because those are indicators that you're ready. You need to work on something. And you may have to just shut out people for a while, but expect family. Nobody's perfect. I mean, nobody.
Right.
Hang on to the good memories. Our Christmases growing up were, I don't remember getting abused during the holidays. For some reason, Christmas was awesome. So I think of those things and I share those stories with my own family, so remember some good stuff. There's got to be good stuff in there somewhere, but write it out. Just write it out. It's just a few days. You'll see it through the next year, and maybe the following year it'll be way better, but write it through.
Kristy, I am just so grateful to you for these discussions and the ability to share a holiday message. Helped me, get to a place of really being incredibly grateful for my life again. And I just want to thank you for especially sharing about keeping faith and love over fear. And that even if you have no help, nobody's listening to you, you didn't get any validation, maybe you feel that the abuser really did get away with everything, but you still have that at the end of the day, what you talked about, experiencing love and validating your own story and being able to, own, I don't know, I guess at a certain point you hit a crossroads and
Let me
really
say it like
looking
this.
at
I'll try to
cut that out forward in taking your power back if you've been a victim of abuse, trauma, or injustice, and looking at the next year with intention. And I love that message. And any last messages?
The darkness comes, and it comes to everyone, but especially trauma victims and survivors. But know that that is temporary. It's always temporary. And just get a good night's rest sometimes, take a nice bath, do whatever you have to do in the moment when it gets heavy, and ride it through, because on the other side of that is incredible. There's an incredible life out there, and there is a lot of beauty in the world, and it is worth riding through the darkness. It's worth it.
get so much out of talking to you. I'm so grateful. And I'm just so grateful for everybody that is like you, that's willing to stand up and open up these dark places so that collectively we grow. So this is such a gift. This is the greatest gift of the holidays, is to connect in love and to be able to grow together with people like you, Kristy. I love you. Thank you. You give me so much every time I talk to you. So I just look forward to doing these more often. And thanks to everybody who joins us in these conversations about overcoming trauma. And just to know that you're not alone. And whatever we learn together. However we grow together. But you definitely are a gift. And thank you for this holiday season, for who you are, Kristy, man. Thank you. And we'll be back. We'll be back when I won't be so emotional, right? But thank you.
You're welcome.
You're amazing. Wow. You